Okay, tonight we're taking you out on the town, but we're staying out a little bit later than you're probably used to.
Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis is witnessing a spike in crime around closing time. Tonight, the Fox 9 investigators are taking a walk on the wild side. Here's Tom Lydon.
As the sun simmers on the horizon and the city exhales, Hennepin Avenue is the artery pumping life back into downtown Minneapolis. The bright lights of the theater district, the pulsing beat of the nightclubs, the gritty vibe of street life.
Like Las Vegas to me.
But come closing time,
Let's keep moving, y'all. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
it is a roll of the dice.
But tension in the air is pretty palpable.
When a stroll down Hennepin can feel like you're walking a gauntlet.
Hey, you can kill us, but it's still 100 million of us. And guess what? And we still.
Let's go, stay back. Stay back.
So far this year, more than 200 violent assaults downtown. On this night, a man is stabbed in the chest with a pocket knife after harassing two women.
A lot of them are drug addicts. A lot of them drink quite a bit.
And you're looking for trouble, that's when trouble comes your way.
Violent crime in downtown Minneapolis is up only 5% overall, with no homicides. By this time last year, there were already 5 killings. But arrests for robbery and aggravated assault are up dramatically. The Fox 9 investigators dug a little deeper, crunching the numbers along just Hennepin Avenue from Washington Avenue to 12th Street, and discovered violent crime in this Hennepin hot zone was up 26% in 2016. The peak time, no surprise, midnight to 4 a.m.
For the fact that we were just sitting there kind of minding our own business.
This couple became one of those statistics. Coming in from the suburbs 2 months ago to catch a theater show, they stuck around for drinks, then a late night slice of pizza. Sitting on the steps of the Cowell Center, they were suddenly surrounded by 4 people and without provocation, violently attacked.
And then out of the blue, somebody that I didn't even realize was standing to my left punched me in the face.
There was blood everywhere. His whole face was completely swollen. I mean, it was very, very scary to see him like that.
Within 48 hours, police would arrest all 4 suspects, still hanging out on that same block. A dance company in the Cowell Center recently sent a letter to supporters saying, "Our longtime home at 6th and Hennepin has now become an environment that is hostile to the arts," going on to cite social unrest on Hennepin Avenue.
We are in the thick of it.
Lamar Carruthers is in charge of security for the strip club Augie's and wonders why police don't aggressively enforce curfew and loitering ordinances and seem to ignore the dice games in the bus shelters.
They're lining up on this corner here and they're attacking people.
It's not like the business owners aren't aware of what goes on out here. In fact, they want to keep it safe for their customers as well. But take a look at Augie's out here on Hennepin. There are some 50-plus cameras out here, high definition, also recording sound. And they routinely share some of that video that they capture with police. The MPD has eyes too, of course. More than 100 high-def cameras that can focus on downtown hotspots, looking for the usual suspects.
And frequently they'll find people, and sometimes wearing the same clothing, who come back downtown the next day.
I think that there's a ton of more activity going down here.
It's the first week on the job for Mike Sullivan, the new inspector of the 1st Precinct. He knows the trouble corners better than most. A decade ago, he was a night shift supervisor downtown.
Do you think downtown has more of a perception issue or more of a real crime issue?
I think there's both. There is some people that come down here to cause problems and to commit crimes. I don't know what you might call it, frequent flyers that come down here to do their crime.
Construction along Nicollet Avenue has pushed many of those frequent flyers to Hennepin, where they can find intoxicated victims staggering home like zombies.
And a lot of patrons, they think this is the coolest thing. They're on a show or something like that because they're downtown having a great time.
And the casting call for the Hennepin Avenue reality show just gets bigger after bar close. By 2 a.m., the energy's kinetic, the air filled with the overwhelming smell of marijuana.
The weed is powerful.
And there's blue everywhere. Police on foot patrol, bike, and horseback. There are 14 new officers assigned to the 1st Precinct. Police are now also working with probation officers and homeless shelters, trying to move the chronic offenders off of Hennepin.
I think our cops are really good at doing their job. These guys down here, again, it's the club scene, so we're not looking for a skin color. Yeah. We're looking for those that are too intoxicated to enter, those that shouldn't be on the streets, those that are out looking for trouble.
It's 3:15 in the morning here at Hennepin Avenue and 5th Street. Police are still trying to sort out that stabbing over there. You have several dozen people on the corner over here, several dozen more over there, and none of them seem to be going anywhere very fast.
It's almost like it's a completely different demographic than what's in the bars when they're open.
That word, demographic, can sound to some like social code, another way of saying young black men. Council President Barb Johnson believes that while the crime problem is very real, Hennepin Avenue is also experiencing a clash of cultures.
How much are they reacting to just being around so many young black men?
I think there is a lack of exposure of people in general, white people to people of color in this community. I really do.
And you're sensitive to the criticism of profiling, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
In some ways, Hennepin Avenue finds itself at the intersection of our national conversation about race and law enforcement, and whether crime is always colorblind. But this stretch of a dozen blocks may be the closest thing we have to Times Square. The question is whether we all feel safe to join the party. For the Fox 9 investigators, I'm Tom Lydon.
Hennepin Avenue is also part of the city's Safe Zone initiative, with additional patrols from Metro Transit Police and Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies. Juvenile probation beats are also planned to enforce curfew.